Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So if you wouldn't mind starting with first and last name, the spelling, and then your title as well, please.
Sure. Robin Civish, RobinCivish, and I am the Commercial Alliance President for the Las Vegas Realtors, and I work for ROI Commercial Real Estate.
Awesome. So as we talked about on the phone, my story today is really focusing on kind of some development in the Southwest region. So maybe pre-pandemic, how was that development looking out there?
So pre-pandemic, and I think also post-pandemic, you're going to have kind of the same thing going on, because the Southwest is desirable because it has a lot of new residential development and commercial development, and it also is very strategically placed along the 215 with easy access to Summerlin, to Centennial, and then in the other direction all the way to Henderson. So those things are not going to change. The position of it is not going to change.
Sure. And we've seen some pretty big projects going up in there. I know the Bend was one of them that a lot of people were talking about just a few months ago. And then now with some of these unique small businesses like Soda Therapy coming into the area. So it seems like it's kind of a hot commodity, if you will.
It is. There's actually 3 pretty large projects going on around that corner. One of them is the Narrative with the G2 Capital and the Poor Companies. That is actually an office project with about 102,000 square feet of office. But what that does for the retail is it brings us a larger daytime population, which feeds those retail businesses. And Then you have the Bend that you mentioned, and it's 170,000 square feet of retail. And it has already about 12 different retail tenants already signed to that, one of them being Galaxy Theaters, and then also the popular Lotus of Siam.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know a lot of people are excited about Lotus of Siam having another location. So moving forward, there's a lot of uncertainty. What do you think we're going to see with some of these projects that are already in the process of happening?
I mean, I always tell people I don't have a crystal ball. It's really going to depend on how much longer that we're in this and what the restrictions are once we start opening up businesses. All my national tenants that I deal with are still moving forward with leases. They're still prospecting for new locations. I do have some smaller tenants that are maybe not national, but already have some locations open that are also looking to open. As far as retail goes, I mean, those tenants that are really good at takeout and delivery with those options are going to probably do better than people with large sit-down restaurants.
Yeah,
least
definitely.
In the near future.
Sure. And so, I was talking to George earlier, and he was, saying that it's going to be a difficult time, and we'll just kind of have to see how it goes, like you said, based off of some of those restrictions and how long this is going and that sort of thing. But development, projects are still happening. The area is still expanding through this.
Correct, because like I said, I mean, the things that aren't going to change with the restrictions are how it's strategically located within the valley. So this is still going to be one of the hotter spots. Location, right? So that's not changing. So even when we come out of this, we're going to probably move a lot slower. Things might not lease up as fast as they were on plan to go before this, but it's still a good location, and it's still a good area of town, and still has a lot of potential.
Sure. And so for people that are considering opening a new business right now, or they were in the process of opening one, like the woman that I was interviewing today, what kind of advice would you have for them?
I would say I'd make sure when you're doing your negotiations that you build in some extra time for yourself to come out of this and give yourself some leeway in your overhead costs so that you can weather the storm through this one and come out on the other side.
Definitely. Is there anything else that you want to add? Maybe something I didn't ask about that you think is important to note?
Just that, a good business plan is always going to help you go further than no business plan. So this is new for everyone. So everyone's kind of in the same boat, trying to figure out the best way to do things, and just make sure you do your planning and you do a lot of research.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Robin, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
I am going to stop.